Hello everyone. In this video we will be talking about cryptarithmetic problems, which is basically a specialized application of constraint satisfaction problem. In my previous video we talked about constraint satisfaction problems and how can we represent a problem in the form of a CSP. Now today we will be talking in this video we will be talking about cryptarithmetic problems which are basically used as a primary application of a constraint satisfaction problem. So talking about cryptarithmetic problem, let us first consider the first problem. So the first problem is, suppose I am given here as a problem as this, which is send more, and after that I am given another, the result here is money. So this particular constraint satisfaction problem or this particular cryptarithmetic problem basically has certain constraints associated with it. So what is the constraint? The constraint is that the values of each of these variables, all of these let us consider as variables, each of these alphabets, they should range from 0 to 9. That means by the end of this problem, we should get the values of each of the alphabets associated to any one of these numbers in this particular domain, which is from 0 to 9. Now how do we go ahead with solving this? So for this I need a little space, so let me rub this. Okay, so send plus more will give us money. So the first step is, let us consider m is equal to 1. Okay, so when we are considering m is equal to 1, m here would be replaced as 1, right? So I will use a different color here. Let us use red. So 1 and 1. So if I'm considering m is equal to 1, so this is the scenario. Now since this particular value, this is basically a carry, right? So after adding s plus 1, I'm getting some value here. So let us say if I'm getting 15 here, so 1 is been carried over, isn't it? So 1 is carried over from this particular position to this. So m is 1 and basically m is a carry. That means s plus 1 should give me a 2-digit number. Then only m is equal to 1 would be possible. So which is the lowest 2-digit number? It is 10, right? So if I am considering s plus 1, because m is already is equal to 1. So m plus s plus 1 is equal to 10. Then what will happen? Then this will be a 2-digit number and 1 could be carried over, which will bring us to the value of m that we initially assumed as 1. And since s here we do not have any value as of now, we can easily replace s with the value which is generating the 2-digit number. So what will be s value? S is equal to 10 minus 1, which is 9. So out of this particular constraint which we had, that we have to choose from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, I have already used up 1 and the others are available for me to use. So I can use the value of s to be 9. Okay, so 9 also goes out from this particular set. So now my final output is m is equal to 1 and s is equal to 9. Now if I am representing it here, okay, so if I'm representing it in this way here, so s basically will be 9 now, right? So s I will rub it off and it should give me, as already found out, s would be 9. So 9 plus 1 is equal to 10. So this will be 0. This O would be replaced as 0. So 0, is it available? Yes, 0 is available. So 0 also goes off from that list, and we will simply use 0 here. So there are two O's, so we will remove this 2O and we will put 0 and 0 here. So O is equal to 0. So we got three different values. Now we already talked about the second step, which is we have found out that 9 plus 1 is equal to 10, and 10 is giving me a carry where m is equal to 1, right? Now e plus 0 is equal to n. Okay, so e, if we are considering, let me rub this. So let's do this. Okay, e plus 0 is equal to n. That means it will give us e is equal to n, right? So is e is equal to n possible? This thing is not possible. Why? Because I cannot have two variables having the same value. So one constraint was this. The other constraint I forgot to mention is that no two variables or no two alphabets can have the same values. So e cannot be equal to n. So we have to find out a possible option where both of these values are not equal. So what is the easiest possible way? I can simply use e plus 0 plus 1. Let us introduce a carry here which is equal to n. That means n is equal to e plus 1, right? So n is now not equal to e, n is equal to e plus 1. So it will have a different value as compared to n, right? So if we are considering this in the representation of the problem, so it will be something like n is equal to e plus 0 plus 1. So let us consider 1 as the carry here, right? So e plus 0 plus 1 basically is giving me n, right? Now let us move to the next one, which is n plus r. Okay, so if we are considering n plus r, so n plus r, so if we are considering this n plus r, it is giving me e, right? So if it is giving me e, essentially this e has to be a double digit number. Why? Because it is generating a carry of 1 here, isn't it? So e has to be a double digit number. So that means in order to have a double digit number, e should be added with 10, because 10 is the least possible double digit number, right? So e value has to be equal to e plus 10. Only then I will generate carry as 1 here, right? So when I'm considering this, what I can do is, I already have the value of n from equation 1. So what I'll do here, I will simply replace it as e plus 1 plus r is equal to e plus 10. Okay, so if I'm doing this, what is the value that I'm getting here? E gets cancelled, r is equal to 9. Is it possible? It is not possible, because 9 is already taken by s, right? So what is the next possible step that we can do? Since this is not possible, like the previous step which we did in equation 1, we will add a carry to it. That means instead of having this n plus r, what I will do is I will add one carry into it. So one carry comes here, and I will also add one carry here. Okay, so what happens here is n plus r n is already e plus 1 plus r plus 1. So now this entire value would become r plus 2 is equal to 10, where r is equal to 8. So is 8 taken from the set? No, 8 is not yet taken from the set. So I can assign r as 8. So let us replace r here as 8 now. 8. Okay, so this is how we are solving this. So again, now since I got the value of r, okay, so I'm already getting the value of r as 8. Now in my next step, the next step is little crucial. We have to be little focused when we are solving this. So in the next step, now if we are considering n here, okay, if you are considering to solve n here, now n cannot be 0 or 1 because n is 1 is already taken by m and 0 is already taken by o. It cannot be 2. Okay, n cannot be 2. Why it cannot be 2? Now let us consider 2. 2 plus 8 plus 1, because what was the situation that we considered? We considered a carry here, right? Because otherwise we did not get the value of r. So 2 plus 8 plus 1, which is the carry. Okay, so this is basically 11. Okay, so if e becomes 11 here, 1 would be carried over, no doubt, but e will become 1. Again, this e cannot be equal to 1 because 1 is already taken, isn't it? So therefore n has to range, this particular value n has to range somewhere from 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, so n can have the values from 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now we cannot consider 8 and 9 as well because 8 and 9 is also taken, isn't it? So this is the scenario. Now let us consider first thing, that let us consider r is equal to 8 and s is equal to 9. Okay, and let us consider e is equal to 2, 3, 4 or 5. Okay, why e can be equal to 2, 3, 4 or 5? Okay, so this is one possibility that we can have. Let's explore this possibility once. Sorry. Okay, so let us explore this possibility. So first, if we are considering e is equal to 2, so if we are considering e is equal to 2, I believe we still remember the equation 1, which was basically n is equal to e plus 1. So if you are considering e is equal to 2, then what happens? So this was our equation 1. Okay, so this was our equation 1 that we formed. So now if I am considering the first condition, so if e is equal to 2, okay, so now if e is equal to 2, let us place here, let's say e is equal to 2 here. Okay, so if I am considering e is equal to 2, that means 2 plus 0 plus 1. Okay, so 2 plus 0 plus 1, that would be the situation. So 2 plus 0 plus 1 would be n. And there is one more e, which is this, so 2. So d plus 2 has to give me a double digit number, because this will be a double digit number, as this is generating a carry of 1. So in that case, d has to be 8 or 9, and both of them are not possible because we already have 9 and 8 taken, right? So e cannot be 2. So the value of e cannot be 2. Let me write it down here. So E cannot be 2, because if we are adding 2 with D, we have to get a double digit number here so that it can generate a double digit number in this particular location. But that is not possible. So we are ruling out this particular factor, that E could be equal to 2. So now what we are left with, so E, and here also we have E. Now let us consider E to be equal to 3. So if we are considering E is equal to 3, right? So if we are considering E is equal to 3, then what would happen? So this would be 3. Again this would be 3, right? So now 3 plus D has to give me a double digit number. So what is the lowest double digit number? 7. What is the lowest double digit number? 10. So this has to be 7. 7 plus 3 will give me 10, so that 1 can be carried over. But if I am considering 10 here, it is not possible, because y will become 0, and since O is already 0, then y cannot be equal to 0. So that is why D cannot be equal to 7 here. And 8 and 9 is not possible because it is already taken. Okay, so now E cannot be equal to 3 as well, because in order to generate the double digit number, the maximum value which can be taken from the set is 7. And if I am considering 7 here, then y will become 0. So y cannot be equal to 0 because 0 is already taken. So E cannot be equal to 3. Now the only possible option left is E is equal to 4. Okay. So let us consider E to be equal to 4 here. So if I am considering E to be equal to 4, then what I can do is D can be equal to 6, or D can also be equal to 7, right? So if I am considering 7, 7 is not possible, because if I am considering 7, then 7 plus 4 is equal to 1. 11, right? So if it is 11, then 1 will stay here and 1 will be carried over. So we will not focus much into that now. First of all, let us write it down that if I am considering E is equal to 4. So if I am considering E is equal to 4, so 4 goes here, 4 goes there. Okay. Now, if we are considering just this part, okay, so now 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. So n is equal to 5. Up till now, yes, it is possible because 5 is not taken. N is equal to 5. Now if we go to this another value here, so n is equal to E plus 1, which is 5, right? So E is equal to 4 is possible as of now. So let us consider the second one. Okay, the second option which we have here. So if we are considering this, if we are considering this now, so D plus E should be giving me a double digit number in Y. Okay, so this D has to be either, this D has to be either 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. So 8 and 9 is not possible because it is already taken. Okay. If I am considering 7, then also it is not possible because 7 plus 4 is 11. Again 1 comes here. Okay, so this is also not possible. Now what about 6? So if I am considering 6, 6 plus 4 is equal to 10, which will bring 0 here, right? So in order to generate this carry, so this is also not possible. So we cannot consider 6, 7 8 and 9 here at all. Okay, that means if we cannot consider 6, 7, 8 and 9 here, it means that E cannot be equal to 4 and N also cannot be equal to 5. So we have to rule out the possibility. We have already checked out E is equal to 2 is not possible, E is equal to 3 is not possible, E is equal to 4 not possible. So what we are left with is only E is equal to 5 and E is equal to 6. Oh sorry, we also have one more option here which is 6. Okay, E is equal to 6 here. Okay, so these are the things which we have as of now. So let us consider E is equal to 5. So I'll rub this for us now. Okay, so now let us consider E is equal to 5. So if I'm consider E is equal to 5, then N has to be equal to 6 by this particular equation, right? So what will be the scenario? The scenario would be slightly different. Okay, first let me rub this off so that it is not giving us a very haphazard representation. Okay, so this is D. Okay, so now if E is equal to 5, so this is 5, all right, and then this is 5. So 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. We already found out that value, N is equal to 6. So if I'm considering only this particular value now, so if E is equal to 5, then D, if I am considering it as 4, then it is not possible because it will not produce any carry. If E is equal to 5, D is equal to 5. Suppose I am considering this as 5. So this will produce 10, which is not possible. If we are considering 6, then it will produce 11. That is also not possible. Okay. So the next thing that we have to explore is if we are considering 7. So what if I am considering here is 7? 7 plus 5 gives us 12. So 12, that means 2 remains here and 1 goes here. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. That means y is equal to 2 is possible. It goes up. And E is equal to 5 and N is equal to 6 is possible. N is equal to 6 is possible. So 5 and 6, these values are also taken out, and that means the value of D will also be understood as 7, right? So D also goes as 7. So the final result as of now that we have got here is here. Now let me rub this off. We got E's value to be 5. Here also we got 5 and here we got 7. Then here we got 2. Then here we got, here we got 5. And we also found out the value of N because N is equal to E plus 1 as 6 and 6. So all these values we have got all these variables we have got the values. Okay, so this is how we basically solve a crypt arithmetic problem. Okay, so this is one carry we have, this is another carry we have, and this is the third carry we have. So these are the three external factors that we have associated with this particular problem. However, it is giving us good constraints in order to solve these equations and the various values which are associated to each of the number. So we will talk more about this in our next session when we will talk about some of the aspects, different aspects of constraint satisfaction problem, like map coloring problems, and how backtracking is associated with this CSPs. So as of now, we have to understand that this is one of the categories of primary categories of applications of CSP, the crypt arithmetic problems. And basically in competitive exams also we get this kind of problems to solve, where there are various representation. One practice problem you can consider for this is eat that apple. So you can practice this for your own. So eat that, let's say, apple. Please follow the similar procedure which we have already seen in the send more money problem, so that we can easily solve these kind of problems. Just associate the constraints and the various variables that those constraints has to be assigned values with. So that is all for this video. Thank you.